All right, let's see. Enable that. Um, view large attachments, edit. Just delete all of yourselves. Like, what is this? This is irritating. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me just see. I don't even know what like all of these videos are. There's clearly some setting here that is, oh my God, guys, I figured out what's going on here. This phone is saving all of the videos my sister sends me of my nephew. There's so many of them, and they're taking up all of the space. Okay, I deleted some. So, it's too freaking much. Oh my God. I don't know how to like, you know, um, okay, just delete it. I cannot delete. All right. Anyway, I'll have to figure this out in a minute, but let's see if this will work now. I'm sorry, guys. Fucking TikTok. I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. I know I'm streaming on 2 places. All right. You wouldn't you wouldn't believe what's happening now, but I'm just gonna tell you so you don't have to wonder. It has logged me out of TikTok now, for no apparent reason. 362403. 362. All right. Anyway, if this doesn't work, we're just scrapping TikTok and moving on. No, not now. All right. All right, everyone. So let's just pretend the last 6 minutes didn't happen. Good morning. Wow. Is it vodka? Is it water? We'll never know. So anyway, how are you guys this morning? I'm live on all my places. Let's see who I've missed. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Vera. Hi, Christine. Christine, we miss you. Hi, Caress. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning, Sarah. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Nancy. Oops. Hello. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Becky. Hi, Anna. Okay. Hi, Chris. Okay. Whew. I know. Geez. Is the energy crazy or what? Okay. So I'm gonna get to the cards quicker than usual today because it took so long to get going. So if you're new to Coffee Magic, just popping through, welcome. Hi. I will be pulling from this deck. It's the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck, and I'm going to give you 3 things. You're going to choose which 3 things feel most aligned with you this morning, and that's how you'll get your message on here. Okay. But not to be a Debbie Downer, but I need to talk to you guys about something. So I have been like messy depressy lately. Like, not the worst I've ever been, but it feels different. It's almost like I was telling somebody the other day that I feel like just like a weighted blanket, like that I am the weighted blanket, but like I'm not comforting anybody, but I'm just like heavy and like flat out, right? I'm just a weighted blanket. And it's been like, it's been a while, you know? And I was thinking about this, especially during workshop, we talked about the collective energy right now and what is going on and what are we doing and all of these things. And um, so one of my friends sent me a reel or a TikTok this morning from another like spiritual content creator. And I really, really resonated with what he was saying. I'll share that in my stories if you want to look at it. But I actually made a 3-minute long TikTok like 2 days ago talking about all the things that I'm feeling. And I just couldn't post it. Like I just have felt so different lately as far as creating content and like just creating business offerings and even just commenting on the energy right now, where that has been something that I do incessantly, right? Like you may have you noticed that? Like I don't talk a lot anymore, except for on Coffee and Magic twice a week, which is a lot less than I normally do. I don't do the energy updates like I used to. And I've been really having, um, you know, some inner turmoil about that because it's been for the past 5 years such a huge part of my identity. You know what I mean? Like, well, who am I then if this is not what I bring to the table, right? And I was thinking about why this is and what's going on and just reflecting on that. And I think it's because of a lot of narcissistic relationships. And just kind of hear me out here. I have, and I know a lot of you have over the past few years, kind of woken up to the fact that I've been in several long-standing narcissistic relationships, right? And one of the things about that is when you're in a relationship like that, and it could be a family relationship too, right? Obviously. But when you're in a relationship like that, for most of that relationship until you have that awakening moment, you are under the impression that everything would be better if you could just do better, right? You're under the impression that you're kind of the faulty link here. You're the thing that's not working. And if you could just fix yourself, if you could just, try a little harder, keep the kitchen a little cleaner, be a little softer spoken, like whatever it is you need to do, if you could just do it better, everything would fall into place, right? And even as I say that, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? So when you have that moment of realizing, like, wait a second, I've been in this very abusive situation for a long time that has completely like reconfigured the way my brain fires, right? The way that I navigate my life and think about things. And you start to do that healing work within yourself and you realize like no, there's nothing wrong with me. I've been manipulated. I've been used. I've been hoodwinked. I've been told for 20 fucking years that I'm bad at this and bad at that. And it turns out you're bad at it. It's like it's just so many emotions that happen and so much therapy that's needed and so much grace and gentleness with yourself as you heal through that. And I think that a lot of us have gone through that already, like with our relationships, and are still healing from that because it takes time. And then add to that now, we are recognizing, or at least this has been really present for me, realizing that I'm also in a narcissistic relationship with my country, with the government, with all systems of governing around me that, are supposed to keep me safe from um, wars, are supposed to make sure that the food I put in my body is safe for me, make sure that the medicines are made at the appropriate way, and like all the things, right? Like everything that basically you've been taught since birth is there to protect you. You're recognizing you're in a fucking narcissistic relationship with it, and it's been gaslighting you, right? And so we have all of us just like sitting here and being like, oh my God, as we literally watch, like, I watched yesterday, like, drone footage, okay? And I'm sorry I'm yelling, but, like, this just blew my fucking mind over and over again. Like, I watched 4 men walking on a dirt road be targeted with the most extreme accuracy and blown up like a fucking video game, okay? And we're being told that that is necessary for our safety, right? That this is important. We have to support this. This is what all of our money is going to, right? To blow up unarmed, shoeless gentlemen walking on a dirt fucking road. Like, have you lost all of your fucking minds? And the answer is yes. So, yeah, I think it makes total sense that I'm a little stressy, messy, depressy, and I don't feel like talking about the fucking retrograde, right? Because why are we blowing people up all the time? Why is my water laced with poison? Like, why is my stomach hurting all the time? What is happening here? Like, it's just so too much. And like, it's hard to know what to do, right? And I'm over here saying, all right, come here, be with yourself, be present, like, figure out what it is that matters to you. But collectively, like, us in this generation right now, oh my god, guys, like, it's so fucking stupid already, right? And you can't even, like, nothing, like, everything's ruined for me right now. I'm in school right now. I decided to go to a Christian university to challenge my biases. And I'm in this class right now, and they made me take this, like, faith test or whatever, like, this test, and it's, like, really, really Christian centered. So it's basically Bible based and God based. And I said, because I'm in the graduate program, and like, so they're not as like crazy in the graduate program as they are in the undergrad. But I said, like, I don't subscribe to this belief. Like, so the way that the test is formatted with, like, God as the center, it doesn't work for me. I'll do the test as best as I can, but like, this doesn't represent me. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh gosh, like, nothing makes sense here. Like, all these questions, it's like, oh, you lean on God for all of your answers and this and that and the other. And I'm like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's so silly. Like, everything is just glaringly silly. So what do I do? Right. And so I bought a snake. I've been going antiquing, right? I'm laying in my bed and playing Candy Crush a lot this week, and just wondering, like, what is it that I can do to help anybody right now? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I know, like, this is all venting and rhetorical, because it's gonna come together, and I'm gonna get my shit together, and I'm gonna help you do something, right? Even if it is to overthrow the fucking government. I don't know what it is. We're gonna figure it out, right? But at the same time, like, a moment to recognize the insanity that we're currently living in and how hard it is, right? How hard this is hard. And we're so fucking selfish at the end of the day. Like, we're just heat-seeking animals, right? Everything that we do is to elicit some emotion that makes us feel something that makes us want to still be here, right? So, you go and decide to say something nice to your friend because that hits dopamine for you, because you really like the way your friend makes you feel. You snuggle your dog because that makes you feel better. You come on here to Coffee&Magic because we're pulling cards and that makes you feel like you have a little bit more of an idea of what the fuck is going on, right? Like, what is this? It's so wild. And it's easier to shut it out. The things that we can become used to is so crazy to me, right? But I also want to say this, as I'm like, we also do really amazing things. Like, humans also create a lot of beauty. And I think, as I'm kind of working this out as I'm talking to you, thank you for being my therapy this morning. But I think that as ugly as we can be is also as beautiful as we can be, right? Before I got on here today, I went and played piano, and I haven't played piano in a few weeks. I just haven't been feeling it, but I went and played piano and I was playing that What Was I Made For, the Billie Eilish song, right? From Barbie. And I was playing that song, and as I'm playing that song, I was thinking to myself, okay, we made this too. This is so beautiful. We've made this too. And I do know that in some parts, the whole point of this is to find the beauty and amplify that and make it louder than the ugly. I do know that. I just don't know today. I don't know today what that means for me, for my business. And that's like freaking me out. And I know it's going to come together and I'll figure it out and it'll be great. But it's just right now, the dissonance is crazy because like nothing makes sense in this world right now. Like none of this bullshit makes sense. None of the systems make sense. They don't add up. But some things do make sense. And the love we feel for each other makes sense, right? The connections we're creating with each other make sense. The things we create with our hands and our hearts and our minds, those things make sense. And I think we really need to really sink back into our humanity as well and our empathy as well. And whatever we can do to keep alive in that space, I think is really important. But it's crazy out there today, right now. It's crazy. And I just think a moment of like holding space for all of us to understand that like whatever you need to do right now, I think you should do it, right? And I don't think you should beat yourself up. If what you need is to like spend an entire day getting high as fuck and like reading Sylvia Plath poems, I think you should do that. If you need to binge reality television and eat pizza and like whatever else that your mind tells you you're not supposed to, I think you should do that too. I think you should do all the things that make you feel okay right now and just be in that space with yourself because it is a lot. And that I think is the self-care to give yourself what you need when you need it and not to like be mean to yourself about it, right? So that is what I have to say about that today. And now let's get to the cards. So happy eclipse weekend. I actually feel better now. I actually feel like more alive than I have all week. So that's good. Maybe I just needed to like, you know what I mean? Okay. All right. So anyhow, what are your three things? Let's do three types of fire because hey, it is actually Aries season now, allegedly. So we're gonna do three types of fire because everything needs to burn straight down to the ground to ashes and cinder, so it can make some soil that makes some sense. Um, let's do. All right. I was gonna get kind of like crazy with the fire, but I think we're gonna tone it down. Let's do a campfire, like bonfire, but not campfire, bonfire. So bonfire, okay, fireworks, and a candle. Bonfire, fireworks, and a candle. What thing is you feeling today? What thing is you feeling? Hi, Ron. So bonfire, candle, bonfire, fireworks, or candle. Gotta be mindful of my time. I think I have a session. Okay. Bonfire, firework, and candle. Ugh, I would like to be at a bonfire on the beach too. I actually, you know what? I'm easy right now. Just don't be this cold. I'm so irritated. It's like, oh, it's 75 degrees. Oh, it's 20 degrees, and your magnolia blossoms have died. Like that's it's just rude. It's rude. All right. Tell me when you're ready for bonfire, because it is here now. Okay, I have it. So, once again, your choices are bonfire, fireworks, or candle. And here is your bonfire. It's the serpent. Told you, I've got a snake coming. He's learning how to eat already dead rats right now. And he's being a little bit resistant to that, but Alexander will be coming home soon. Birth and rebirth, and the cow. Well, 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 right? Okay, so bonfire, serpent, birth and rebirth, and the cow. Now, this bonfire message is like, how do I describe this? It's for the already present latest version of you. Okay? Like, this isn't telling you how to get to the next version of you. You already are there. Like, and do you know what I mean by that? Like, it's already happened. So this isn't like signaling a transformation of self in any way because you already are in it. And this is telling you about what you're in. Okay? So you're in it. You're in the process of birth rebirth, which means you're still shedding a little bit of old skin. See my reptile metaphors? You're shedding a little bit of old skin, but you're here. Okay. So when you feel a little bit of resistance still, where you're just like, just remember to, do like a snake, right? Moisturize and be patient. It's going to come off. Maybe rub yourself on a rock, right? Um, so that's happening. At the same time, so much information is being uploaded into your consciousness right now. And when that happens, sometimes you get confused, right? Because it's like so much information. And I think that's actually what's happening right now as I say it. I'm like, this one's for me. So much information is coming in and becoming part of who you are. And you might be trying to like work with it before it's like stopped the gush, if that makes sense. Like, it's just so much, it needs to settle in. And while it's flooding in, you don't need to do anything with it. Just like let it happen. It's uncomfortable because you like to control everything. But that's you, not me. Okay. And then you have the cow, and the cow is, it's this. No, this. It's this. The cow is the endless cycle of giving and receiving. Okay? Giving and receiving. And it's just reminding you of that. You have to ask and then receive, and then you give, and then you ask and you receive, and you give, and you just keep going in that flow. Okay? In that flow. If you're only giving, you are not in the full circuit of flow. So just remember that. You have to also receive. Also receive, also receive. Okay? Does that hit your brain in a way? Did it hit your brain? That is your bonfire. The next one is fireworks. I don't think I saw anybody choose fireworks, which feels crazy to me. Is it because it's a combustion situation and not like a flame? Who picked fireworks? I mean, you don't have to tell me. I do want to know, but you don't have to tell me. I just wondered. Some of you may have fireworks because you picked all three. Just don't know why the fireworks aren't getting one. All right, so it's bonfire, fireworks, and then candle. Listen, I am so excited for my snake. I am so excited for him to be here, and I hope that he learns to eat his stupid frozen rat as soon as possible. Because if you think I'm not going to be here on Coffee and Magic with a snake around my neck, you're wrong. Alexander's going to be doing Coffee and Magic with me. I'm a snake. Do you guys know that one? Okay, let me get back into this. Fireworks. Tell me when you're ready. All right, so here is your fireworks. Partnership, spider, goblin. All right, friendos, let's talk about it. When you have like partnership and spider together, this could not be more indicative of some sort of creative alliance, basically joining together with somebody else's energy and creating something together. So, could this be a business alliance? Yes. Could this be a romantic partnership? Yes. It could be so many things because all the energy of this is saying is that two separate people join forces to create something, right? And then you fill in the blanks. Now, whenever we have that, and then we have this little motherfucker join in, what do you think is happening here? Oh, are you doubting yourself? Are you doubting your magic? Are you doubting like literally everything about yourself? Are you too short, too tall, not smart enough, too smart, uncertain, scared, blah, 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 whatever? Like this guy is coming in here to completely yuck your yum. He's here to yuck your yum. Does he have anything of value to add to your current situation? Sort of. He sort of does. He's telling you about all of your limiting beliefs. Okay. And when this guy comes up, all you have to do is sit down with him and say, where did you come from? Who are you? Like, what amalgamation of adult voices from my past are creating this narrative right now, right? It could be a teacher you had in fifth grade, it could be a grandfather, it could be your mother, who knows, right? But Goblin is here to show you where your current limits are. And you're here to tell the Goblin that you're the one that makes the limits now, right? So if you can, like, it's amazing the magic of being able to identify where something comes from. When you realize that a thought process that you think is your own actually comes directly from, like, not to put too fine a point of it, but your mother's mouth, right? Like she just like said something to you over and over again, maybe, and you just believed it, right? And not to be mean to your mom or anything or anybody's mother, but here's the thing: people say shit, right? Especially to their kids. They say some weird shit. They get overwhelmed. They're all like confused about what they're doing here on earth. And then their kid comes around and is triggering them because their kid is so much like they were and they didn't do any of their healing work. So they don't know what to do to navigate that. Their kid comes over, says something, and they just will lose their mind and say some ignorant ass shit to that kid. And that kid just like takes it and is like, oh, this must be the most true thing I've ever heard. Vroom, it's part of my identity, right? And then you don't think about it again, but then you're limited for the rest of your life. So if you can trace that back to that like moment where like your mom said some dumb shit to you because she was having a bad day and didn't even think about it, or never did again, you can then take a lot of power away from the Goblin when it tries to yuck your yum with adventures that you're going to have. And I will just add, in the theme of today's Coffee and Magic, who cares? Honestly, like, who do you think you are, right? Like, just fucking do it. You want to try something? Just do it. Who cares? Like, literally, the world is burning. You wanna take a chance on, like, some sort of a business with a friend? Fucking do it. Like, who like, literally, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, if you don't like it, then just stop, right? Like, I don't even know, like, why are we so paralyzed about everything when it doesn't even matter, right? Go have an experience. Like, what is this is preventing you from nothing, okay? Preventing you from having an experience, but it's not saving you from anything. It's not protecting you. You're just not living, right? So if you've got a fun thing coming up, I just do need to tell you that you could just do it. And you could also just trust yourself every step of the way. And if something feels off, you could just say, hey, that feels off. I'm like, I'm out, right? Just saying, a little perspective. Okay, so that is your fireworks. Ooh, I've gotten spicy today. I like it. I haven't felt spicy in so long that like, oh, it's giving me life again. Ah, thank God. Thank God. I need to dry this sogginess out. The last one is gonna be candle. You're already ready? I didn't even throw cards yet. All right, let's see. Okay, tell me when you're ready. Candle's here. Okay. Are you ready, TikTok? As a reminder, you can watch any parts of this over again on my Instagram and my YouTube once the transmission is finished. And if you would like to donate to Coffee and Magic, you can do that by going to the link in my Instagram profile or my TikTok profile or on my website. Okay, there you go. All right, so here is your candle. Communication of the cat and the owl. Okay, here, this is very specific. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's very specific. So, do you know about how there's boundaries, like how we make boundaries, right? Some of you have made some boundaries, right? And you're so proud of yourself. You're like, I did it. I've established boundaries. It did it. It did the thing. I'm making boundaries. I'm amazing. Um, and you know that thing we say how like it's your job to enforce your boundaries and like all those things, right? And you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's my job. Like I'm the one in charge of this. I'm doing it. It's like, yeah, you are. You're doing it. Okay. So here's the thing. If you create boundaries, but you do not communicate those boundaries to anyone, what are you doing? So you're either setting up like one of those like tripwire things, like with the little like lasers, right? Like setting them up and just hoping people can navigate through them, or um, you're creating a lot of dissonance, right? So you've established these boundaries that you're like, yeah, I did it, but you've told no one, right? And then you're like, why is nobody like treating me differently? Like, why is nothing different? Like, I've made all these boundaries, and it's because nobody fucking knows what your boundaries are. So it's time to communicate those boundaries. What does that look like? Right? Like, we are basically reparenting ourselves as humans at this point, right? Because we've learned how to be the worst type of people, honestly, from everything around us, right? passive aggressive, afraid of confrontation, have no idea what we want, don't know how to communicate in like a non-aggressive, affrontive way, right? How do you communicate your boundaries and like make it make sense, right? It's learning how to actually speak is a thing, right? So for example, if you are in a relationship with somebody that you want to keep, right? Like you kind of like them, you kind of want them to still be there, but they've been doing something that feels disrespectful to you when they do it, right? Like I don't know, what's a good example? They constantly like show up like 10 minutes late to your dates, let's say, right? Otherwise, you love them, but like they're 10 minutes late all the time. And it makes you anxious because in those 10 minutes, you're thinking something must have happened. They might have gotten into an accident, like, whatever it is. And then when they show up and nothing actually has happened, you're like, well, that's really disrespectful then because you just chose not to be here at the appointed time. You see what I mean? So if your boundary is, I need you to be on time, but you haven't communicated that to your friend or your partner or whatever, um, you're going to constantly have that like pushback, right? So, in this instance, it's sitting down, not in the heat of the moment, and saying to your partner, hey, something that's really important for me is that when we say we're going to meet at such and such a time, you're there because otherwise I feel a lot of anxiety. And then that anxiety turns to anger and aggression when I realize that like no emergency happened and it feels like you're disrespecting my time. What are your thoughts on that? Right. And then like let them say, well, okay, I'm hearing what you're saying, right? It makes you feel like I don't respect you when I show up 10 minutes late. But I'm a person who's late all the time. So like I don't believe in the existence of time. I just like kind of float through things. But I understand that even though I feel that way, you don't. And I don't want you to feel anxious. So what how do we meet in the middle here, right? And then you decide, okay, together, I'm on time all the time, right? For various reasons. You're late all the time for various reasons. You're going to agree to let me know, hey, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, or I just got in the car, or whatever it is, so that I can relax my nervous system and understand that. We've had this conversation. And am I making sense, or I'm just like, blah, blah, blah? But basically, this is all about communicating the boundaries that you need to have an actual healthy relationship that feels reciprocal, right? Give and take. That's part one of the candle because there is another part. This one. And this one is not for everyone. I just want to say that, because I don't want you to take this and go crazy with it. But this is not for everybody. But this is kind of like one of those, it's like a hawk today. It's like if you've been looking for a sign, you think somebody has been not telling you the truth about something, chances are you're right about that. Just going to say. If you think somebody has been slanting, has been a little deceitful, a little misleading, or like there's some vibes that are off here, it is worth exploring that and trusting your intuition. Okay. So, anyway, that is your candle. Wow, what a journey we've had today together. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you have a really good weekend. Um, I hope that this energy ignites some fires for you. I hope that you find some gentleness and softness for yourself and for others, while still not accepting bullshit, of course. And I hope that you enjoy the beginning of eclipse season, which I think we're going to like better than the energy we've been in. At least it's going to move faster. So that's always better for me. All right, guys, I love you so much. I will see you Monday at 9 a.m. for more Coffee and Magic. Again, if you'd like to send in a donation of any denomination, you can send that in through Coffee and Magic on Instagram or on TikTok. Take care of yourself, be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye.